is failing us. Politics failed women in 1914. If millions will die due to new oil and gas licensing, millions! If we love history, if we love art, and if we love our families, we must just stop oil.
Leave the room immediately, please. You need to leave the room, please. Ladies and gentlemen.
It's not shown in here.
This room is closed. Head to the exit,
You need
please.
to leave the room, please,
This
sir.
room is closed.
You need to leave the room, please, sir.
Oh, jeez. And the right caption for that should be sponsored egotistical sociopaths that truly do want to see the world burn. Welcome back, beautiful and amazing human beings. My name's Luke here of WeAreChange.org, and there's a lot of absolutely wild and chaotic news as, of course, the situation in the Middle East is getting messy, as here domestically, some people are dancing, congratulating themselves on the prosecution of the former president of the United States, who in reality is essentially making them the biggest losers, as of course today we have the trial of Donald Trump inside of New York City with some very bombastic developments that we're going to be talking about here on this independent media broadcast, as well as all the other news that is happening today and of importance to you. If you like the shirt that I'm wearing, you can get it on thebestpoliticalshirts.com. This is one of my favorites that probably will get me rated. And the clip that we played in the beginning of this broadcast is, of course, by the lovely leftist crazy people from Just Stop Oil, that if the world would listen to them and actually implement the policy that they want to implement, stopping all of oil's production, it would have a huge, devastating impact on the poorest people on the world, while creating calamities not only to our economy, but our agriculture and our entire way of life, whose progression, growth, and prosperity is directly correlated towards the amount of energy that is available to, of course, the general public. Getting rid of some of the cheapest, most readily available energy for everyone would literally create a caste system-like society that, hey, we're all slowly encroaching to anyway because of the technocratic nightmare that we're all in. But anyways, if there was no oil, who would fight the wars inside of the Middle East? I'm joking. I'm saying that facetiously, as of course you don't need oil to help start conflicts inside of that region, as the situation is already very tumultuous between the Israelis and the Palestinians, as today we are learning that Saudi Arabia will actually be hosting a Gaza summit this Sunday. This, as a militant-run health ministry inside of Gaza is reporting that 10,022 people have already lost their lives due to the conflict inside of that region. A number that, of course, cannot be independently verified as of right now, as the bombing of that region does continue, impacting and affecting a lot of that region, as, of course, the ongoing fights street by street continue in the region, as now the United States just sent a submarine into the region that it posted the pictures of in the Suez Canal, as, of course, another show of force and alleged deterrent against Iran, as conflicts have been already unfolding through proxies inside of that region between Iran and the United States. There already have been missile attacks, as now Jordan is promising that any effort in order to displace the Palestinians from Gaza would, quote, be a red line that they themselves would consider a, quote, declaration of war. As, of course, previously beforehand, Jordan did take in some Palestinian refugees, a situation that led to a lot of civilian strife and unrest in its country beforehand as a result of this, as of course the United States is bankrolling and financing this larger conflict, as here in America a Big Mac meal now costs you $16 in some places, as of course not so long ago it was only a few dollars. This, as of course the purchasing power of your dollar is absolutely being obliterated by bureaucrats who are hyper-focusing on punishing people for having the wrong political ideas. As today we got an update from Owen Schroyer, a man who essentially is a political prisoner and is being denied access to contact people on the outside while being put in solitary confinement, which now might extend for another 30 days. as he is in jail for being near the U.S. Capitol and chanting the slogan 1776. All of this as the Federal Bureau of Investigation keeps, of course, focusing their efforts on DEI, ESG social credit score systems, which, of course, they promised to uphold to, as they have been recently seen recruiting the next bureaucratic government workers at a Pride event in Charlotte, North Carolina, as the agency has been, of course, accused of politicizing the justice system while actually ignoring real, legitimate threats against the American people, as they also openly work on cover-ups of major events that they do not want you to know about, like the incident that happened in Nashville, where there was a very interesting manifesto that was kept away from the general public, that was censored, that was denied, that now is being released by Rumble and Steven Crowder, releasing the few pages of this manifesto that we could only talk about on LukeUnfiltered.com. And if you haven't signed up yet, what are you waiting for? If you sign up yearly, you save a bunch of money. You could also sign up monthly for less than 50 cents a day, as of course you get a plethora of amazing offers of value available to you just for simply signing up and being a part of this independent media organization more than ever. You want to know what's happening behind the scenes? You want to be involved in some of the major decisions that we make here? You want to understand what's really happening? As we focus on information that we cannot talk about here on this particular platform with the video ready for you almost every single day, well, you have to sign up to LukeUnfiltered.com. It's quick, it's easy, it's simple. Just click right here. Put in your information, you get emailed back a login and a password, you log back in, and you also get the ability to call in to our live Rumble new podcast that we have available to you, that you now get to fully participate in and actually do a video call in just for being a member of LukeUnfiltered.com. As the conversation got really spicy last night when we had Ariel Scarelli on the show and we talked about frogs changing their preferences. I'll just leave it at that. Very spicy, very interesting conversation happened last night. To be a part of those conversations, to send me clips, videos, articles to react to during the live show, and to actually call in, you got to be a member of LukeUnfiltered.com. You also get 3 masterclasses, a forum to talk to like-minded members, a members-only t-shirt store, contest, giveaways, in real-life meetups. All of those amazing things are happening on LukeUnfiltered.com. Sign up right now if you haven't yet. And I will see you there with a special broadcast right after this video, as currently we are going through the political prosecution of the former president of the United States, as socially, things aren't really that stable. This as Donald Trump is testifying in the making of this video, as we are hearing reports of the judge telling his lawyers to, quote, control the former president of the United States, as allegedly sparks are flying and this entire court proceeding is, quote, going off the rails. And what did you expect in the Kangaroo court, as the judge is alleged to have said, quote, I beseech you to control him if you can. If you can't, I will excuse him and draw every negative interference that I can. Words by a judge that many people have pointed to the fact is probably a little political biased here when it comes to this case, as of course, as the New York State Attorney General that brought this case forward definitely isn't showing her best side, as she clearly has a political vendetta that she is using the courts of New York in order to, of course, enact on what clearly she sees as her political opponent. Here's a compilation of some of the very eye-opening statements that she made about this very particular case.
The President of the United States has complained that I'm engaging in some sort of political witch hunt, that I've got some personal vendetta against him, that I campaigned against him. That is not true.
This illegitimate president who sits in the White House. That president, because he's not my president, he's an illegitimate president. His days are numbered. His days are numbered.
We've got to get ready to mobilize, and we've got to get ready to agitate and irritate until victory is won, but more importantly, until Trump is defeated. We will all rise up and resist this man,
And ultimately, we'll bring him down.
absolutely no respect at all.
Now, I don't know about you, but that person seems to be just a little bit politically biased here, as of course, people also need to realize the larger prosecution of the former president of the United States is also helping him tremendously with his base, galvanizing a lot of individuals who are actually sitting in the middle here asking themselves the question, why in the world is the former president of the United States being held accountable for alleged accounting errors? As of course, it's important to understand here, all the cases up against him make him a prosecuted man that also at the same time make him a martyr for the larger political expression and ideas that he represents himself. As of course now, the cases in New York, Georgia, Florida, DC, Colorado, the federal cases, all are raising concerns not about the former president of the United States, but the system that is going after him. As of course, there's a lot of people connected to a lot of the prosecutors in this individual who's being prosecuted here. There's also a lot of claims of huge sums of money being transferred here. And there's people grandstanding on all of this while, of course, pumping up a boogeyman that they themselves will stand up against and fight when in reality, they're the ones helping create him. This, as of course, very partisan and racial divisive statements like this from Letitia James definitely do not help the situation and only polarize this country even further.
Up to bullies. We've got to stand up to an administration which is too male, too pale, and too stale. Too male, too pale, and too stale. Too male, too pale, and too stale. And we will not go away silently. We will not be silent in the face of this oppression.
Oppression? The guy's not even the president of the United States. And when he was, most of his policies were absolutely tested and compromised by the individuals that he even put himself around. My favorite right here is this kind of egg-headed, short, effeminate white guy who's kind of here like, yeah, too pale. Yeah, too male. Yeah. Oh, crap, that's me. Yeah, that's you, buddy. You're being detested by the people you're cheering on. And when this case moves forward, along with all the other cases, including the case that's literally going to be held on Super Tuesday, holy frickin' cow, we are expected to, of course, have more divisiveness in our mainline political social culture that I think already had enough of it. Now, whatever will come out of these cases, I think it's fair to say that it only makes Donald Trump more popular from here. He came out in a statement just moments ago saying that he's going to make America great again. And as the justice system was weaponized against him, I think it's fair to say that he probably will be weaponizing it as well against the people who, of course, struck him first. If he becomes the next president of the United States, according to my opinion, it's probably when, as of course his lead political opposition is not all there, as even mainline corporate commentators are saying that it's not wise for Biden to stay in the 2024 race, not just because of his old age, not just because he's senile, not just because he's accused of pooping his pants all the time, but because of all the clear examples of corruption, business dealings, and the selling out of this country that is becoming just too obvious to ignore. What do you think is going to be happening from here? I think it's pretty clear. The former president of the United States, Donald Trump, will be the next 47th president of this country. I think it's pretty clear. If you agree with me, press 1. If you disagree with me, press 2 down in the comment section below to what you think will be happening in the future. I'll be focusing on your answers. As of course, we got a brand new spanking video on LukeUnfiltered.com available to you right now, all by just going down below, clicking the link, signing up, and I will see you there right after this broadcast. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you, and that's why I love you guys. Stay tuned for more. By the way, we're going to be going live this week. We're going to have some huge major guests that are going to be absolutely awesome. So subscribe, click the notification button, not just here, also on that other platform that allows us to speak freely. Sign up for that, plus a lot more. I love you guys. Stay tuned for more here on wearechange.org.